Alright, I think I've made a big step forward here. I've got new servos installed, and I've got them, and I'm here with the Dyn4 DYN4 controllers, and I'm going to go ahead and power them up. And you can see the lights are on there, and notice that I've got this serial cable hooked up. And this is an ancient computer. I had this software from 6 years ago, but it works. Oops. So I know from doing this it's COM port 4. Boom, says it was successful. I'm using Windows because they didn't give you a Linux version of this program, sadly. Come on guys at DMM, you're awesome, but give us a Linux version. So there's some cool stuff here. You can actually drive the motors. It's a little scary, especially because I have it actually wired up. So I was playing with this earlier, and these are 16-bit encoders, so I think that's about 35,000 pulses per rotation, if I'm understanding it. So we have motion. That just gets scary because you do not want to crash it. I am not, this is all sort of temporary. I need to do something better with these. I need to mess with the belts, but it's good enough that I can run it. There are no limit switches, there's no safeties. I just have to slam that E-stop if anything bad happens. But it's cool. I can tell it to run and it moves, so this is something. I also built a little parallel port, and I have an Arduino that I can plug in and make it run, but I'm not gonna do that for the video. I'm just showing that the machine's alive and it moves. Well, now I feel like a big dum-dum for ripping that chip off the other board. I made all these assumptions like, oh, I'll never figure this out, and I just wasn't going to let this go. I decided to spend my Saturday morning drinking coffee and trying to understand this board more. This is the good one that I haven't destroyed. I went ahead and soldered a wire up, and when I touch it to the ground here, whoa, look what happens. We have data and it's changing. It's broadcasting data out. And I went and found somebody's code on GitHub that does Manchester encoding, and I was playing with it and it looked like it worked, and I'm not going to go into the boring details, but the problem I'm running into here is the speed. The yellow one here is the AVR, and the blue one is the, yellow one is this guy, blue one is this guy. So even a 30-year-old chip that's a dedicated ASIC is running at 20 megahertz is gonna outdo a modern-ish microcontroller running at 16 megahertz. So, I ran the C code about as fast as I could run it. If there's much I don't know, but this is like an old assembly program that I wrote years ago screwing around that basically just sets your DDR to out data, data direction, and then it just loops on, off, on, off. And I was like, well, how fast does this work in assembly? If you, look at that, same chip. So 16 megahertz microcontroller versus 20 megahertz ASIC, but I mean so I'm kind of playing with the idea of just bit banging something with assembly language. Here we go. I just basically shaped the waveform by blinking this thing. I made a really simple little delay function, and then I just, if I needed something longer, or I would just put 2 offs, 2 ons. I'm drawing with switching something off and on. I'm drawing that waveform out. And using assembly language, even on a 16 megahertz chip, I could get it to pretty much copy what the other one was doing. And I just thought, well, if I feed it back what it's putting out, what's going to happen. You know, I have no data sheet. I'm just fumbling around. It's like taking a road trip, you know, for 100 miles with no map. It actually will receive a command. I don't understand what it's receiving or what the protocol is, but it's reacting. Which means I'm like incredibly close. If I sat here long enough and I tweak these bits long enough, I think I could probably make this thing work. The question is that a sound way to control a 1,000-pound machine by guessing a protocol on an old chip? And the answer is probably no. So I think my original instincts were correct. If I were to do this right, I would just redesign this whole board in CAD, and which this part would be easy to design, like easy peasy. It's this analog stuff, and how dedicated do I want to get to this project? I don't know.